forget all you know about podcasts. We welcome you to an experience uniquely different. Please join us for our coverage of all entertainment on the fringe of society. The candles are lit, the lights are down low. It is now time to welcome our host as he steps up to the pulpit. The sacrifice has been prepared for the midnight black mass.
The line in this special edition. Welcome on this fine September evening to the Midnight Black Mass, the one and only Hank 3. How are you doing tonight, Hank?
Oh, hanging in there, man. Good to be with you.
Hey, we appreciate you being on the show. Let's get right to the new albums that have released. You've made a pretty ballsy and ambitious maneuver here, putting out 3 albums on 4 discs. All came out on September the 6th. Let's talk about the country venture from the damn band, if you'd like. First, the Ghost to a Ghost Gutter Town double album. What about that?
Well, I think for a normal Hank 3 fan, they're hearing some stuff that they haven't heard before. Just some different sides of me out there. But, there's a few songs that's a little more country-oriented, like Day by Day and Gutter Town and Outlaw Convention, but then you got some crossover songs like Ghost to a Ghost and I Don't Want to Go Home and Troopers Holler. So that's the first part of the CD. The second part of the CD, Gutter Town, is what I would consider doing it wrong, which is a little more experimental and a lot of Cajun influence and just having a lot more fun. In the daytime, I'd be more serious on the Ghost to Ghost records. At night, I would do my rock stuff and then do some of the Cajun stuff, having just no rules.
Well, heck, I think the albums are absolutely fantastic, and you can absolutely tell that you poured your body and mind and soul into making those albums. What kind of an effort did it take, and how grueling was it? How much of a toll did it take on you?
I mean, I definitely bit off more than I can chew, but that's the way I've always been, man. It was all the way from January to June, from the time I woke up till the time I went to sleep. It was all day, all night. I normally weigh like 160. I went down to like 137 in weight, and but it was full on. The hardest part about it was the mixing process. That's the only time I really divided everything up. But my ears, I've already done 20 years on the road and never wore earplugs and stuff like that. So that was the toughest part for me. But while I had the energy, I had to, make a mark in music on trying to do something different, man. And that's something I can definitely say no other Hank Williams and did. So, and in general, the only other artist out there, I'm not comparing myself to him as a musician. I'm nowhere near him at all because I don't understand any music theory, but Frank Zappa is about the only other guy that wanted to do this same kind of concept, but his record label kept him from releasing all his multi-genre records on the same day.
Well, that's unfortunate that it didn't happen for Zappa, but very fortunate for you. I think you've put out a hell of a collection here. Some of my favorite tunes on the Ghost to Ghost were the Ghost to Ghost title track. Cunt of a Bitch was one fucking amazing song with Alan King from Hellstomper, and then being a dog lover and owning 2 dogs myself, I loved Troopers Holler. I thought that was really unique and just refreshing to see this music taken in such a direction that you've always been one for bucking the rules. You've never been able to be pigeonholed into some kind of style. And I think this album may be, in my opinion, the ultimate culmination of that. Do you think it represents a creative pinnacle for you thus far?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of writers that's said, he does, punk, hillbilly, country, heavy metal, whatever, but it's never really come across on all my records, and this is the first time I think anyone's been able to really see how diverse of a musician I actually am, or how many styles I do have in me. So, while I got the energy, man, I got to go the extra mile and take it to the next level. During the live show, we're bringing the country, the hillbilly, the ADD, and the 3-bar ranch. So it's a full-on 3-hour show, and it's been intense, man.
Yeah, and to all the fans out there listening to the Midnight Black Mass, I highly encourage you to attend a Hank 3 live show. It's an experience quite like no other. And this man, he has built his fan base from the ground up, grassroots. He stays and signs every autograph, takes every picture, is just out there beating down the pavement. It's built his own audience. And you've said that in the past. You didn't have the support of your family in a lot of cases because they weren't with what you were doing, but you just went out there and you beat the streets and you got in the vibe of the black T-shirt kids, as you call them, and you've become a hero of sorts to many of them.
They're definitely a very loyal fan base, man. They've been there for us for many years, and we do everything we can to make them proud with offering them so many different kinds of music and trying to give them as much energy as I can when I'm on that stage.
You can see the fire in your eyes when you're doing it. It really tells me that you genuinely love what you do out there.
Absolutely, man. I mean, it's all I live for. It's all I got. I mean, that's why I'm here, man. There's no other reason.
I understand that, my friend. Lots of guest artists on the album. Mentioned Alan King of Hellstomper, the legendary Tom Waits. You've pretty much always been known as a collaborator. You've done stuff with Bob Wayne in the past, Those Poor Bastards. Anybody out there you haven't worked with that you'd like to?
I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's tons of people. Dave Lombardo came up to us when we were over in Europe, and he was wanting to play some country drums. And we just weren't able to make it happen on this go-around, but I'd definitely love to be able to work with Dave. And, there's all kinds of folks, man. I got so many heroes. If it's Dwayne Dennison of the Jesus Lizard, or if it's, of course, the Melvins, or then you got, it's just on and on. Sherman of Earthride, and so much. Brent from Mastodon. We've always talked about doing an acoustic project, or Matt Pike. Me, Brent, and Matt Pike talked about it. And who knows? At least we got, I got the place set up and the gear there, and it's a laid-back environment. And if we are able to get everybody to jam, I know one day me and Wayne Hancock will do a WHHW record that'll be more purist country, and we'll just have to see what lies ahead. All I can think of right now is just the next 2 years is beating down the road, man.
And that you've done. You want to talk about any upcoming dates that you've got out on the horizon on the road?
Yeah, I'm doing West Coast right now. I'm in San Diego. We're playing L.A. tomorrow, then San Francisco. If anybody wants to see where we're at, they can just go to hank3.com. November, I'll be doing an East Coast run. And then probably January, I'll be doing Midwest. And then if I break even by then, I'll be trying to start all over again with, Spain and Italy and all places I've never played.
Yeah, that'd be outstanding. And you have the freedom to do just that now, out on your own, no longer with Curb Records.
It's a new beginning, man, and we're we're running full throttle every night. We're giving it all we got, and glad to be free of them and able to, if I wanted to go jam with, say me and Philip Anselmo recorded a song tomorrow. Well, since he's got his own label and I got mine, we can have it on, Liquid Metal within 2 days if we wanted to. We don't have to go through a bunch of fucking bullshit lawyers and all that stuff to make music no more. We just put it out there.
And really the way it should be, music truly coming from the heart. And talking about a legendary figure, Phil Anselmo, what does he mean to you personally?
Well, he was always a hero of mine, man. When I was growing up, I never saw Pantera in an amphitheater. I only saw Pantera in a 500-seat and 1,000-room bar for like 8, 9 different times. And, he would sometimes come out to our shows when I was in a band called Buzzkill because they were making the Cowboys from Hell record in Nashville. And he was just hanging out watching local bands. So he was a hero, and then as it went on, I finally got to meet him again and hang out with him more on a musical level. So it's been a huge inspiration for me. He's helped me cross over and bring a lot of metal kids into my country world, and he's been a massive inspiration. When I was growing up, it was always Henry Rollins and Philip Anselmo for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Those two guys are legendary and influences on a lot as you've now become on another generation. But let's move the conversation along to the Attention Deficit Domination Project. Awesome stoner doom metal. If you like Black Sabbath or even bands that sound like Black Sabbath, as Phil was once quoted as saying, you're going to love the ADD. It's some badass shit. Why don't you tell me a little about it?
I've always been a fan of doom music. I've been playing fast with Ash Jack for over 10 years, and I've finally gotten to slow down with it. And what's very important to me about this project is I've reunited all of Sleep's old gear from the Dope Smoker record. So I got all of Al's old bass cabinets and Matt Pike's old guitar rigs. All the Green family is together as one, running through my guitar rig. But it's a side of me I've wanted to get out there. This record is dedicated to Lane Staley. It's my vocal style that I'm pushing for on it, and he was also a big inspiration. And it's a shame we lost him so quick, man, but it's, there's been from Earthride to Sleep to Melvins to Black Sabbath, Pentagram, just all these bands have offered me so much inspiration. And when we're playing it live, we're definitely on a good day when we're able to set everything up. We got some pretty crazy imagery behind us, and we're making the bar room completely black, where kids can maybe light up and smoke and get away with it, so the security guards can't see them no more. And we had St. Vitus out the other day, and it was awesome to hear Dave Chandler tell me that, dude, you gave me some new inspiration. Vitus is getting ready to make a new record. He's like, man, now I got to out-doom you. So that's awesome. That's awesome to hear that from my heroes, And it's been a lot of fun, man. And it's been, it's such a long show. Everybody's usually worn out just by the end of the country set, but it's pretty trippy going from the doom for an hour of doom straight into the speed metal, man. I mean, we're literally trying to melt some people's minds out there as much as we can.
So that's what this show is all about, bringing creative and inspirational music, art of all kinds to the droll people who may not be able to find it on their own because they're led by these corporate conglomerations that tell them what to listen to and this, that, and the other. But let's talk about the third album. We're going down to about 5 minutes left on the interview here. The very unique and interesting concept of 3-bar cattle ranch calling. What in the fuck came about? How did you come up with that?
Oh, well, I've always been raised around, I've herded cows, milk cows, branded cows. I've been around it my whole life. But I used to go to the auctioneering barns with my granddad, and I was always fascinated by some of the speed from a lot of the auctioneers, and I always thought it would be a good fit. And it's very frantic, very anxiety, just crazy sounding stuff, man. But it's fun. Like, when we're doing this stuff live, man, the crowds are freaking on it and feeling it, and I don't know. I just think it's kind of a first in the metal world. Just a little, not the music, because the music comes from Slayer, Pantera, Strapping Young Lad, and all those kind of inspirations. I have that. It says it in the credits on the CD, but just hooking up the auctioneers on top of it is something that's kind of new and different, and just has a different light on the metal, man. But for me, it's the funnest part of the show, because I just get to jam out and finally rock out and play guitar and try to keep it as intense as we can.
Well, and the fans certainly get their money's worth when they come out to the Hank 3 show for reasons just such as that. As we're starting to wrap up the interview here, we just want to talk about the next up-and-coming band. You're always a guy that seems to be finding these great acts. I've heard you recently putting over Sour Vein and Jucifer, who I had a chance to see down in Chattanooga here not too long ago, and they were great. What is in your CD, record, MP3 player right now?
Man, I've been listening to a lot of past. I mean, Deep Purple, and I still can't get past 1977, AC/DC, man, Jesus Lizard, Earth Ride, Buried at Sea. I don't know. I hate to say it, man, but I got to do some research. I heard a song last night on the radio, and someone Shazammed it, and it said it was a band called Muse. And to me, it just sounded different. And I got to see if it's the right band. But if it is the song that I heard, it's not nothing really heavy or anything like that, but it's different. It's the first song in 15 years that's caught my ear on a radio. I'll say that.
Holy shit!
So
yeah, that's pretty impressive.
I gotta do some research and see if that was actually the band, man. But all in all, dude, I'm still in the fucking past. I can't stop listening to the old classics, man. I mean, I watch it, and listening to all the bootlegs. I wake up with Black Sabbath every day, and I just cannot get enough of it, man.
I understand completely. That's the way my iTunes looks. This show's based mainly on professional wrestling, which is where I came from, and I was at a show playing the music on the intermission, and the promoter was like, "You don't have anything in your player beyond 1975." Well, there's hardly anything good that's come out since then. I mean, it's not true, but the really great music. It's just been so long.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's so much great stuff. Pagan Altar, so many different bands. It's still unheard of for a lot of kids to grasp a hold of and find some roots on some of the old, classic rock, man.
Absolutely. Well, we're getting down to the last minute and a half of the show, Hank. I want to thank you for joining us. Just one final thought, because here on the Midnight Black Mass, we worship at the altar of Mr. Dimebag Darrell. Can you give us a little glimpse into what it was like working with him on the Rebel Meets Rebel album?
It was such an honor, man. I mean, I had Dimebag and David Allen Coe on the side of the stage, and then they came up on the bus and were like, "Man, you want to go sing on a record?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, let's go." And sure enough, we pull in, the bus sinks down in 4 feet of mud. We're stuck there and had a great night. You know, we had a bunch of fun, recorded the records, hung out, had a lot of laughs. Then a bunch of drama happened, and there was 10 different sheriff departments there about 6 or 7 in the morning. And it was full on. The last time I ever saw Dime, he was trying to lead us out and back to the interstate. And, you know, he was like raising hell all through his neighborhood and taking out some mailboxes and taking out some shrubs. And where we were supposed to turn left, his Cadillac just kept going straight into a ditch and some trees. And he got out and he raised his horns up in the air and he says, "Man, you go that way." So we got his car unstuck, got him back on the road, and the last time I saw him, he had a big smile on his face, having fun, man. So we always love him, we always miss him, and there'll never be another Dimebag Darrell.
There will not. And on that note, fans, we don't want to take up any more of Hank 3's time. He's a busy, busy man, has other interviews and lots of things to get to. So thank you very much for joining us, brother. We hope to have you back on again sometime.
All right. Thank you, man. We'll talk to you soon. Respect.
All right. Have a good one. Fans, there you heard it. Hank Williams III exclusively here on the Midnight Black Mass. And we are going to lead you out with the title track off of his new record, Ghost to a Ghost. Here it is.
That we lived before. where no one wins, built up to be let down, is in my family tree. See the wolves and the vampires in their misery, shady eyes and used up words, doomed without a doubt. Was it too much time alone that made you wanna find out? From a ghost to a ghost, yeah, we know how it goes when you're on the outside.